Welcome to Storyline with Neetu. So today our book is And Then the Sheets Grow by Marianne Dubé. So let's begin our story. So let's open our book and see. So here our story begins. So once there was a garden. It was an ordinary garden filled with flowers and plants where many creatures lived all year round. Some lived above ground like Mr. Gnome and Little Jack, and some lived underground like Yon the Mole, the field mouse family, Polly the earthworm, and Collet the ant. Everyone was quite content until once morning, out of the blue, something fell from the sky. At first, no one took notice except for an unhappy Jack, whose hat was crushed by the falling things. You can see. The thing was a sheet, and soon the sheet began to grow with a creak. Its seed coat split open, and out popped a small root. Underground, Colette and her ant friends were annoyed. The root was blocking their path. If they were going to arrive home in time for tea, they would need to find a way around. Yuan noticed a small crack in her bathroom ceiling. No cause for worry, she thought. A few taps of my hammer should do the trick. But no sooner had she fetched her toolbox than disaster struck. There was now a root poking out of a hole where the small crack had been. Yawn quickly sprung into action to fit it. At the same moment, Mr. Gnome noticed a new plant above garden. But no sooner had she fetched her toolbox than disaster struck. There was now a root poking out of a hole where the small crack had been. Ivan quickly sprung into action to fit it. At the same moment, Mr. Gnome noticed a new plant above garden. What's this growing in the garden? He wondered. He wanted to ask Colette, but she was too busy digging new tunnels around the plant's root. Yvonne was growing more and more upset. She was on her third round of repairs. Things weren't much better in the field mouse house. No sooner had Susie made a wish and blown out her birthday candles than her party was ruined by the invading roots. As for the ants, all of the detours they had to take to go about their work in the garden left them exhausted. Night and day the plant grew. Yvonne gave up on her renovation. The bathroom was a mess and she was worn out. The field mouse house had been overrun. They had no choice but to move. All of the neighbors lent a hand. Even Polly, who usually kept to himself. Everyone was fed up, underground and above ground. The plant was wreaking havoc all through the garden. The one bathroom was permanently out of order. Mr. Gnome was trapped in his house. The ants were dizzy, and the poor field mice had to move yet again. Something had to be done. You can see over here. The garden residents held an emergency meeting. My bathroom is unusable. Complain A1. Where will we live? Mr. Field Mouse worried. We can't get home, cried the ants. This is unbearable, exclaimed Mr. Gome, who had finally managed to escape. They all agreed that there was only one thing to do: cut the plant down. I don't think it's a good idea. Everyone had a task. Yuan, the expert tunnel digger, would excavate the roots. The tireless ants would eat and munch the leaves, and the sharp-toothed mice would cut the stalk. Just as Mr. Field Mouse prepared to take the first bite, someone called out, "Wait!" It was Mr. Jack. "Is this plant really so terrible?" Jack asked gently. "Hasn't its shade kept Mr. Gnome's house cool and comfortable? And wouldn't the field mouseling have great fun climbing its branches? From its highest leaves, the ant could easily map out their routes in the garden. And don't forget these fruits." "Fruit?" everyone cried in surprise. Then, looking up there, discovered tomatoes. Inspired by Jack's word, the garden residents decided to let the plant be. Soon they all learned to appreciate its many merits and were quite content once again. Yuan and the field mice were glad to be neighbors. Collet and the ant colony now had a vast network of tunnels and a handy lookout in the plant's highest leaves. And Polly, he had made a friend. So the following spring, it was with great excitement that the garden inhabitants made another discovery: 3 new sheets. And they see, and that is the end of our story. Hope you like this story. If you like more stories and more activities, so don't forget to subscribe our channel. Bye.